So again, welcome you all to our second webinar. That's a funding option for scientific innovation, which will be delivered by Dr. Sonali Roy ma'am. So Dr. Sonali Roy ma'am completed her master in zoology and environmental biology and PhD in molecular toxicology from Vishwa Bharati University, Santiniketan, sorry. While working as research associate, she was selected for prestigious JSPS postdoctoral fellowship from Japan government and moved to Atmospheric and Ocean Research Institute, University of Tokyo in 2007. After returning to India, she joined at CSIR NIST as a quick hire scientist and continued till 2017. Later, she joined Vishwa Bharati University as a guest faculty and served till 2019. She moved to Naipur, Guwahati in 2019 as incubation manager and continuing till now. She has undergone various startup experience with different capacity and also working as team member or advisor for several startups in Northeast India. She also got professional training for IPR in the pharma R&D and technology transfer from FICCI and National Biopharma Mission. She also served as PI of R&D project from national funding agencies. She is having keen interest in technology commercialization, product development, cell and molecular signaling, molecular mechanistic toxicology and related subject. She published more than 30 research papers in reputed international journal, book, proceeding, etc. And having 2 patents in international and national as an inventor. She also received the JSPS travel grant as a visiting scientist at the University of Tokyo, and she is a live member of Indian JSPS Alumni Association member STEM. So let us welcome our esteemed person to deliver her lecture.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shivo, and I welcome all my students. Always I feel at home when I am in CNCB. I had a plan to visit CNCB in April first week, but because of this lockdown situation, I could not make it. So whenever the situation become normal, I'll immediately come and visit all of you. Okay, so I'm eager to visit you. So I hope every one of you are doing well, in good health. So today I'm talking about the funding options for scientific innovations, and let's start for this. So before going to the main part, this scientific innovation, as our previous speaker, he told many things about innovation. I'll show you some very interesting innovations so that you may get some interest in this subject. So first of all, I want to show you some egg. Okay, so it looks like egg, but actually it's not. It's a what is egg on it? So it's made up with some plant extracts. Looks like egg, nutrition value is like egg, and tastes like egg. And it's developed by the students and professor of IIT Delhi. And it's a good substitute to the vegetarian people who won't take egg and having lots of protein in their body. So it's very interesting innovation, I feel. So I will, in the very beginning, I show this to you. The next one is a chunk of meat. Okay, so this is developed by the IIT Guwahati students, researchers in their lab. This is not from the slaughterhouse. So see how interesting is this? If you don't have to go to the slaughterhouse, you can get meat from the lab. You don't have to kill the animals. So it's really very, very interesting thing. Okay, so next thing is blood testing machine. So it's a very small devices, and it's made by the IIT Kharagpur group of faculty and students, and this is very much helpful for the people who are staying in the interior part, can't afford to come to the blood testing center and can't afford to lose one day's salary. So this device is very cheap, very handy, and very easy to use. So this is a remarkable innovation, I feel. So I have chosen a very few among them which will help you, or encourage you for the innovation. This is an innovation from a very interior place known as Zero Valley in the Arunachal Pradesh, and this lady, she made a special type of organic wine from the kiwi fruit, which is found abundantly in that place. So previously kiwi was available in Arunachal and the northeastern states. They used to sell, so you used to get it very easily. But nowadays, when in last March 2020 March I visited Arunachal, then that senior SP, he told me that now they are not getting kiwi because this company, they are buying all the kiwis and prepared this organic wine and selling this to the India and exporting to abroad also. Another very important and very basic innovation is the water bottle. So while this we want to reduce the use of plastics, this bottle is very good innovation. It's made up from bamboo, and it fix a cork in the bottle lid so that it's absolutely leak proof. And it's also developed by an IITian, Dhutiman Bora. He is also started exporting this to the different countries. So this I feel very basic and very innovative thing. Another thing which I want to discuss with you, actually you know the aquaponics. I know many of you have already worked in hydroponics in your colleges, and is working in bioponics. Actually, I used to get all the news regularly from Dr. Swine. Okay, so this is also very important thing and very encouraging thing, and people are working in aquaponics nowadays, and we have a plan in your new campus to do this aquaponics. So hope it will give you a very fresh fish and organic vegetables in your hostels in future. So this is the things. So let's go to the main topic. So when you have an idea, it can be a product or it can be a service. So from idea to your product or services, you have to go through different steps, which already Mr. Chakraborty explained. So I'm not explaining this in broadly. So just I'm showing you the steps, and I will go to the next steps very quickly. So here comes the role of incubation center, where incubation centers help the innovation management. Also, this college people and that mentors in the college, they can also help you to do the innovation. So actually, this innovation is a dynamic process, and this there are many type of mentorships and the supports like space, then equipments and many things are required as described by Mr. Chakraborty in the previous talk. So these are the things through which you can take your idea to the product or the services and go to the market to sell your product. Okay, so the most important thing is that the funding. So if you have the idea, you have to convert into the first of all, then proof of concept or POC. Then you have to go to the lab scale. Then you have to go for the pilot scale. Then you have to go to the industrial scale. So while going to these steps, you need fund. So otherwise, it's not possible to carry on the research for you. And at the same time, if you are already graduated, then you have to think of your living expenses also. So funding is very important for this innovation process, and Government of India is now giving emphasis on this type of work, like through this Startup India, Make in India, then at very recently Atmanirbhar Bharat. All those things are there to help the startups, and there are different agencies like BIRAC, then NRDC, TPP, TDB, NSTDB, MSME. So all these things, they have the different schemes to support the startups. Also, there are CIDB and NABARD. NABARD mainly help in the off-farm or on-farm societal development projects. So there are schemes in different level of the innovation. There can be ideation, there can be idea, then proof of concept, then early stage development, late stage development. So all these, and students, researchers, entrepreneurs, startups, anyone can apply. And there are different names of the schemes like SIIP, Srishti, B, AIR, UIC, SIDRI, CRS, BIPP. So these are different schemes where you can apply. So if you are already graduate, you look for the big and other schemes, and if you are not yet graduate, then please look for the SIIP scheme or SIP scheme. So there are different schemes. Okay, and if after getting that first scheme or first grant or without grant, if you have already developed to the POC level or so, you can look forward for the next schemes also. But most of the time, people start with the small scheme like SIIP or EIR. EIR actually from the Nidhi Prayas, and SIIP from BIRAC. So this idea from the ideation stage to go to the big or MSME Prayas grant. Then when you develop your prototype, then DST, TDB, Nidhi, MIT. So depending on your innovation, there are different types of funding agencies. And finally, if you become an, if you come to be an entrepreneur in the last stage, you can get CBRI, TDB, angel funding, venture capitalist, CIDB, CRS. So all these type of funds are available there. Okay. So as I told you in the previous slide, in the ideation stage, like EIR, this EIR actually from the Nidhi Prayas scheme of DST, and this EIR, this entrepreneur in residence, this scheme is open now, and it's open up to the 21st August 2020. So this is a scheme for 30,000 per month fellowship for 12 months, and at the same time some money for developing of your prototype. Okay, so this is very encouraging scheme. If you have something in your hand or in your, and of course there is your I mean, just my previous speaker, Mr. Chakraborty, who is at present directly associated with the CNCB, he will help you for this type of grant writing or schemes. And I am, of course, I am with you at any moment. Okay, you can contact me. So the next thing is the big scheme, which I show here. This big scheme, proof of concept level. Big actually a scheme to kickstart the entrepreneurship in the bio sector. Okay, there are till now more than 500 projects supported by big, and after that more than 75 of them received the follow-on funding grant. 125 new startups developed, and more than 50 products developed till now. You can go to the BIRAC scheme, a BIRAC website, and you can get some glimpse of these products. Okay, so this big call is open now. This is the 17th big call, and it's open up to the 15th September 2020. So you have time now. So if you want to apply for this, especially the students who are graduating this year, so this is specially for you, because if you are not graduated, you are not entitled to apply for big grant. But of course, faculties can apply, and you can be the team member with the faculty. So you can think of this big grant, which is very, very encouraging, and it's very prestigious grant, and it's very effective also. Okay, so big grant, it's started in 2012, and it's a startup funding program for BIRAC to support research projects that aim to establish or validate proof of concept for a promising and innovation technology idea with commercialization potential, as I explained you. And the aim of this scheme is the promoting novel cutting edge ideas that are market driven and have societal impact. So your innovation, it should have something for commercialization, and how, that I will explain later. And it can be awarded to a person or teams or any startups. Okay, so this is the big grant. And in the big grant there are different sections. Okay, this is the structure of the big applications: title, then proposal summary, objective, proposed approach, team, novelty, and so on. So what I will do, I will go these heads one by one, and then I will explain you how to write the grant proposal, the grant proposal. Okay, so that will help you in the framing of your proposal or to write the grant in future. Okay, so in big, there is actually 4 steps. First, when you apply, there will be some eligibility check, then blind peer review, then technical evaluation panel where you have to present your idea if you go up to the step 3, and then finally there will be executive committee who actually grant the projects. Okay. So the thrust areas are agriculture, drugs and vaccines, healthcare devices and diagnostics, bioenergy, industrial biotechnology, waste management, nutraceuticals, big data analysis. So all these comes under the big thrust area. So if you have anything in mind regarding this, you can apply for this. And as I told you, I will show one by one. Then before that, just what I want to tell you, that grant writing, it's not an idea. Actually, you have to give your plan. Okay, you have to submit your plan, and depending on your writing, okay, the decision will come. So it's your control. You are the controller of the decision. Think of this. Okay, there are some thumb rules for grant writing. First thing is that you have to convince the reviewers and as well as the funding agency so that you can get the fund. It's very obvious, and you have to think about the reviewers perspective, what they want from your proposal, not what you want to tell. Okay, so then reviewers simply provide the assessment what you have wrote, because they cannot read your mind, they will read your proposal only. So you have to provide enough information, but at the same time, if your IP is not protected, or that means if you have not filed the provisional patents or patents, then you have to hide that part also. So this is very tricky thing, how much you have to open and how much you don't have to show. That is also very important thing. Okay, so you have to say that how, you have to say that what you want to do, but you never said that how you want to do this. Okay, and as previous speakers told about the team, so team is very important in this. And always contact the mentor or funding agency before you submit your application, so that you can get the mentoring, how to write the proposal, whether your proposal is good enough or not, or where you have to change. And for these things you have to give enough time. Okay, so that is very important. Remember these things, and ultimately actually it is selling your idea to the funding agency, so that funding agency will buy. That means they will give you the money, you make your product, prototype, anything, and then you go to market, sell this to the public and earn money. So that is the thing. So as I told you, I'll go to the structure of big application one by one. First thing is the title of the proposal. Title is very important. Okay, and think of the catchy title, be creative but be concise. Okay, it should clearly convey what the project is about, and often used as assigned review groups. Okay, so do not use keywords like analysis, study, or all those things. If you want to study, then you are lagging behind. So you don't have, you have only the idea, you have not done any work on it. So don't use this. Use the words like novelty, impact, like novel concept, cost-effective device, or user-friendly material, something. These words are very important. Okay, so while writing the title, think about these words. And next, a good title is clearly written statement that states the problem and the solution you are proposing. Okay, so title should reflect your whole proposal. Then the proposal summary. So here you have to give the problem statement. Okay, so is it worth solving? Yes, because the problem statement should be simple. And what are the things will be there that I have? It's not like that I have built a hammer, now I shall start looking for a nail. Before that, you have to think about the market. Is there any need of your product in the market? Then you make your solution. So first you have to think about the problem. What are the problems are there? Then you have to think about the solution. Then you have to frame your the proposal. You have to do the work on it, and you have to frame your proposal. So in the problem statement canvas, what will be there? There will be context, impact, root causes, who does it impact, means your product, who will get the benefit, and current alternatives, if there is, if any. If there is no solution of the problem at present, it's very nice. If there is, if solutions are available, then how your product is superior than that, maybe taking less time, maybe taking less money, maybe it's there may be many things, maybe it's easier to use. So anything can be there. And why are the alternatives not sufficient? So what are the problem, the solutions in market which is available, why it is not sufficient, and you want to give another solution to this? So these things you have to keep in mind while you write the problem statement. Okay, so while you think about the problem statement, then solutions, then you have to go for the objectives and milestones. Okay, so next thing is, do not claim too many things, that I will do this, I'll do that, I'll do that. Not that. Be specific, be ready for a specific solution. And this big grant is only for 18 months. Most of the grant, this type of grant is very short period. Someone gives 6, somebody gives 12, somebody give 18, somebody give 24 months also. So very you have to be very focused to your solution, and just write that. Don't write so many things. Okay, and your approach should be that methodology, how you are going to do it. But at the same time, I must tell you that if your IP is not protected, then you have to restrict yourself in this. Okay, so next thing is the team. As previous speaker explained that uh, team is very important. Okay, for example, if you are developing a device, medical device, then you should have a design engineer, a clinician, and a business member in your team. Okay, so business mentor is very important, because basically we are from academic background, we don't have much experience in the business. So this is the team. So you have to think about the team while preparing your application. Okay, and then you should have your team meeting, make the plan, then write the application. Next thing is the novelty. So what is the innovative element in your idea or in your product? So how it is better than your competitors, what will make you different? This is very important thing, as I already explained. For example, it can be better performance, lower cost, faster, more efficient or effective, or it is having new capabilities. So it can be anything, but it should be superior than the products available in the market. Okay, so then next thing is the preliminary work done. Just you have the idea, you write the grant and submit it. No, it's not the way. You have to do something on your idea, then you will get the some data, so that you can support you, support it, your proposal. So data or papers or something, it can support your proposal. Okay, so lab testing evidence or publication supporting evidence, backup data, or anything can be there that prove the technical feasibility. So all ideas, there may not be any technical feasibility. So that there should be some technical feasibility to prove that you have to give the preliminary work. Okay, so that reviewer can be convinced that it is doable. Okay, and your proposal should clearly state at what stage your project is now. So whether it is ideation, it is idea or ideation or POC or anything, you have to write it clearly. Okay, so then the thing is that if you are developing a device or diagnostic, please mention that you have done through clinical immersion and have spoke to many doctors, patient, understand the need, treatment, etc. If you have some agricultural solutions, then you should have talked with the farmers, then the I mean, who are doing working in the agricultural business, all those things. So these are the preliminary work you have to do, and you have to give the statistics of this if possible. Okay, then comes the IP strategy. So many of you asked many things about the patents and all those things in the previous lecture. So IP strategy, that the thing is that you have to state prior patents, if any. If you have any provisional patent or you have already applied the patent, then you have to mention this, and you have to tell what is all about very briefly. Okay, and you have to go for a patent analysis in thoroughly, and you have to understand which innovative component of your project has scope for patent filing, if you have not already filed your patent, and will you file a design patent or a process patent or a product patent. These things also you have to decide, and you need a mentor from IP background. Okay, then the third thing is that if you have the patent, who will be the owner of the patent? Maybe 3 or 4 group of students applied, work for it, then there will be their mentors or faculty, and most of this the institute or the college or university. So normally in case of institute or universities, what will happen, that institutes or universities, they used to own the patents, and the people who worked under this, they used to be the inventors. Okay, so as the inventors, all of the team members will be there who worked on it, and then the owner of the patent will be the institutes. Okay, next thing is the value proposition. Value proposition is very important because it refers the USP or unique advantages of your product, and it is actually these things which compared to the similar product or technology already available in the market. I already explained this, and I can give you a better example. So suppose you are developing a medtech devices that can be used as an alternative to surgical procedures. So in that case, what people have to do, they don't have to go through the surgery. It can be a non-invasive process. Okay, so when it becomes a non-invasive process, it will be a very important thing. So in case of point of care device and many things. Okay, and then it will become affordable because it's not you don't have to go for the hospitalization and all those charges. So this is the value proposition of your product. Okay, so you have to think in that way, what is the value proposition of your product. You have to write that thing very nicely. And next thing is the opportunity. Someone asked about the opportunity. So what is the opportunity? So it is what will the project contribute to our community, what will be the utility of your products, that actually the opportunity. It can have health benefit, economic benefit, environmental benefits, and so on. And you have to clearly and briefly state the importance of problem being addressed and potential impact it solved. For example, you have to give the statistics. If you are building a diagnostic kit to identify prostate cancer early, then the opportunity is the number of patients suffering from the disease in India and globally. So you have to give the statistics. Also, how the diagnostic kit is better than similar kits if available in market. So these are the opportunities. So that's why I wrote that opportunity depends on the type of product. Depending on the product, you have to find out what are the opportunity, what type of things are available in market, what is the problem, how many people are suffering, or how many people will be benefited with your product. So all those things comes under opportunity. Okay. The next thing is challenges or risk factor. You have to identify your risk, which is very important, because as you know, because if you have to go through a plan, and if the plan fails, then you have to think for plan B. So there comes the risk factor. So after calculating the plan A, if there is some risk, so if the risk comes, what to do? You have to go for plan B. So you have to think of the risk factors in the very beginning, and you have to make ready the plan B also. So these risk factors can be different types, and as an innovator, you have to write this risk factor also in the proposals, but very briefly. And in this, what are your plan? If this risk come, how we will overcome that also you have to write. That I told that plan B or alternative backup strategies to overcome the risk. Okay. Next thing is business model. Business model or business plan, which include market size, who are your customer, revenue model, target price. So everything includes there. So you need a support of a business person for this. And then next thing is the timeline and work plan. Okay. So in the beginning, I told you don't include so many things in your plan, because it's a 18 months project. So you have to divide your plans in different stages, and then you have to write accordingly. Okay, so this will be your timeline and work plan. And finally, the budget justification. So budget justification, there will be equipment, manpower, consumables, rental, travel, IP, contingency, outsourcing. So in your case, faculty members may also know this, and if you require, there are people help you to plan for this. Okay. And the very important thing is the contextualize and quantify the problem. What is contextualizing? That is going to the root cause and personifying the impact it has on the end user. Okay. So this is the main thing. Your innovation should have some effect in the end user directly, and then the end user should be interested to buy your product, as explained by my previous speaker. So that's all for today. You know my mobile number, you know my mail ID. You can copy from here also. You can write me at any time. You can call me at any time for any help. And thank you all.
Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am, for your
So
nice
hope
presentation.
I have finished. Hope I have finished on time.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, yeah. It's on time. So I would like
Okay.
to call Miss Madhu madam to give the vote of thanks.
Esteemed speaker, Mr. Ajay Kumar Chakrabarti, Director, Innovation and Outreach, CNCB Academy of Science and Technology. Respected invited speaker, Dr. Sonali Roy, Incubation Manager, National Institute of Pharmaceutical Education and Research. Respected Principal Sir, Secretary Sir, and our National Research Advisor, Dr. Javed Sir, our faculty members, dear students, and all participants. It's my privilege to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this plenary. I, Mrs. Madhushmita Ujha, Assistant Professor in Geology, on behalf of the entire team of CNCB Academy of Science and Technology, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to all speakers for gracing your presentation and sharing your incredible ideas and opinions with us today. I would like to acknowledge our gratitude to Mr. Ajay Kumar Chakrabarti for giving an excellent coverage on taking innovation from idea to implementation. I must mention a deep sense of appreciation for Dr. Sonali Roy for providing necessary information. We are very much thankful that During this COVID-19 pandemic, through this webinar, you have given your precious time and guided our students by sharing the idea of innovation management from basic research innovation to technology development. Dr. Roy also talked about different schemes of for various stages of product development and given role of incubation center in innovation management, team making, funding opportunity, patent strategy, value proposition, etc. So we all are inspired by your great words. Finally, I would like to take this opportunity to place on record our hearty thanks to the principal, Mr. Biswaranjan Swai, and the program coordinator, Mr. Siba Prasad Mahanti, for logistic support and their enormous cooperation for this event. Last but not least, we have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of dedicated faculties and enthusiastic students. Once again, I'm grateful to the speakers as well as the participants of CNCB Academy of Science and Technology for being with us during this event. Thank you very much.